It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning and welcome to Monday Travel and Cruise Industry News on this, what is today? The 19th day of June 2023. Coming to you from Bedford County, Virginia, Central Virginia area. Another decent day here today. It's going to be low 80s, not as warm as it was this weekend. But then tomorrow, like the high's supposed to be 55 or something really stupid. So that's going to throw me back on getting in my pool. Those of you that followed me this weekend, on Saturday, I made it to my waist. Yesterday, I made it to my chest. I still can't get all the way in. It's still so cold. So anyway, hopefully it'll warm up soon so I can actually get out there and do a little exercise. That would be nice. At any rate, I was hoping to have a guest this morning. However, there's a 4-hour time difference. I have not seen him yet, so he may still be in bed, which is a possibility. So if he doesn't make it, I'm going to go on with what I had planned for today, and then we'll have him on another day. But the main theme this morning, at least for the first part of the show, is Let's Cruise Alaska. Talk about our group, hosted group cruise coming up on the Sapphire Princess. We do have some news stories this morning. A ferry catches fire with 120 on board. Norwegian Cruise Line cancels call to Valdez in Alaska. Saudi Arabia launches a cruise brand. Apex cancellations. And AIDA and barrier-free travel. Interesting story from AIDA today. And much more live here at 11 o'clock this morning. All right, today, I wasn't entirely sure how to handle this, but today is National Take Your Cat to Work Day. So I rounded up Sharman and Cottonelle this morning and explained to them that this was National Take Your Cat to Work Day, and they were welcome to come get on in the show today. They just come in and hop up on the desk. And basically, they stuck out their tongue and stuck up a middle finger on their paw. So I assume that means, it's not our idea. We're not doing it. But anyway, take your cat to work. Good luck. If you're listening via the podcast, welcome aboard. You can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from. All the big guys tune in: Spotify, Pandora, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News. And up pops the fat travel guy. If you're listening via the podcast and ever want to jump over to the video feed, there's always a link in the description of the podcast to do just that. So you're welcome to hop over anytime you want and see what's going on the video feed. Like this morning, as a matter of fact. So we had several things to show you today. Katie, she's up there in Martha's Vineyard. She had some cousins came to visit, and they went to the seafood shanty. That looks like some oysters on a half shell to me, and some mussels. I'd have been right there with you, Katie. There may have been an adult beverage or two involved as well. That's okay. I would have been right there with you, Katie. And then just some scenes of the lovely Martha's Vineyard. I mean, I, for one, know why Katie goes up there every year. I love that part of the world. And as long as I get, I don't know, once I get well into Connecticut from then on. I love it up there. I love New England, always have, since I was a kid. All right. So Hot Air Tom was in Helsinki. And what the hell are you wearing, Tom? That you clearly didn't get that at Walmart in Richmond, but I'm not entirely sure what it is. The various scenes of Helsinki, and there's two ships there. One of them, of course, is the one that Hot Air Tom is on. Statue there in front of the Capitol. And this was a pipe statue? I don't know, something strange. And then he saw Emily. I didn't realize Emily had gone. I thought she was going to the Philippines. Here she is out there paddling around, kayaking in Finland. That's a hell of a kayak from New Rochelle, New York, I'll tell you. And then a nice sunset from Hot Air Tom. Absolutely gorgeous sunset. Then, of course, Hot Air Tom likes to go to the shows at night when he's on the boat. But sometimes he doesn't really care much about the show and has no idea what's going on.
The third steak, which is not an ingredient.
That's Hot Air Tom at the show. You want to see that again? Look carefully to see what Hot Air Tom's doing.
The third steak, which is not an ingredient.
Dead to the world. So, Hot Air Tom on a cruise ship. All right, so I had hoped that Nate was going to be with me this morning. I just checked over to see if he might have popped in. He might still pop in. Who knows? All right, those of you that have been following me for a while know that I am doing a cruise to Alaska on the 30th of August. On let's see, I thought I had a slide of that. It's not there. And it's not there. What did I do with it? Anyway, I'm going to Alaska. Oh, I know where it is. It's right there. Of course, on the Sapphire Princess. Now, what I'm going to do, folks, I'm actually sailing to Anchorage. I'm going to come into Anchorage, or actually to Whittier, on the Noordam, Holland America's Noordam. And from there, I'm going to ride the train back down to Anchorage. I'm going to spend 3 days in Anchorage before the cruise, which is actually what amigo John and I had planned on doing. And since he can't go, I'm still going to hold up my end of the bargain and spend some time around Anchorage and doing some accessibility studies of Anchorage, as it's supposed to be very well laid out for accessibility issues. So I'm looking forward to that. And then on the 30th, I'm taking the train back up to Whittier and getting on the Sapphire Princess. It is a hosted cruise. We have both solo and double occupancy still available. Last minute deals are now in effect. So you might want to call and check on any last minute deals that might be popping up. We still have openings. At least we have inside and ocean views. I have no idea if there's still a balcony left or not. There was last week, but I know we've had some more action since then. But I do know there are still insides and ocean views available. So call Nate and his crew. The ship itself sails on August the 30th from Whittier. The first day we're at Hubbard Glacier. On the 31st, on the September the 1st, we're in Glacier Bay National Park. Then on Saturday, we go to Skagway, Sunday to Juneau, Monday to Ketchikan, a day at sea, and then into Vancouver. Now, lots of really neat excursions. You know, Nate's real business is excursions. So he has some awesome excursions that are available should you be interested. Of course, he can hook you up on the train. He can also hook you up if you want to go in and go up to up the northern part of the state and do the train all the way down. That can be arranged, which of course goes through Denali. But me, I'm just going to do the train actually from Anchorage back down. I mean, from Whittier back down to Anchorage, and Anchorage back up to Whittier. There's several whale-watching excursions. I'm going to be on one of them. When we're in Juneau, I'm not sure what my other schedule is going to be, but I hope to have time to go back up on Mount Roberts, because that is one of the most phenomenal views I've ever seen. For those of you that have not been, it is completely accessible. You just roll right up our little ramp, and you get on the tram that goes up the mountain. I was a little nervous at first, but once I got in there and started going up, I got over that real quick. And when I was up there last year, I mean, it was even snowing and sleeting at the top of Mount Roberts. As you can tell, I'm in my heavy winter coat. But still, man, what a phenomenal view. So like to do that. Of course, we'll be on the Sapphire Princess, which is an absolutely stunning ship. Also, some of you might be interested in taking the air tour up to the glaciers. Nate can hook you up with that one. And the other one that I am really excited about is going up to Michelle Phillips' kennels. Michelle is an Iditarod musher. She breeds and raises her own dogs that are trained for the Iditarods. And there's another big race similar to that up there. Michelle has won the Iditarod 2 or 3 times, and the Quest maybe 3 or 4 times. But I'm going to go up and play with her puppies. So I'm just really interested and excited about that. All right, guys, I'll be back with some news after this.
Do you have a bad back, bad hips, bad knees, or any other mobility issues? Think about Scootaround. For scooters, walkers, wheelchairs, even oxygen needs, delivered right to your cabin. Scootaround for all your mobility needs on your upcoming cruise.
And of course, I have already hooked up my scooters for both of my Alaska cruises. So I will have them on board both ships as I'm running around and doing crazy stuff. All right. This actually turned out to be a good story, folks. A little scary, of course, but still, the end result was really good. Philippines Coast Guard reported that a passenger ferry carrying 120 people caught fire at sea yesterday. In response, the Coast Guard dispatched a vessel to rescue those on board and attempt to extinguish the flames. The incident occurred in the early morning on the MV Esperanza Star as it was traveling from Siquijor province to Bohol province in the central Philippines. Images and videos released by the Coast Guard depict flames and thick black smoke emanating from the 2 decks at one end of the ferry. Coast Guard personnel aboard another vessel utilized a water cannon in an effort to control the fire. fishing boat and another vessel were also observed nearby. The Philippines frequently experience sea accidents due to factors such as frequent storms, inadequately maintained vessels, overcrowding, and lax enforcement of safety precautions, particularly in the remote provinces. But based on the photographs and the video footage released by the Coast Guard, none of the 65 passengers and the 55 crew members could be seen aboard the burning ferry. However, the Coast Guard reported to news outlets that all 120 passengers and crew were removed safely from the ship. It said that the fire had been extinguished and no injuries suffered. Been fussing a little bit at Norwegian lately, and that does seem to be continuing. City officials have reported that Norwegian Cruise Line has decided to cancel all visits to Port Valdez scheduled for the ship, the Norwegian Spirit. The cancellation affects the ship's remaining 2023 as well as the entire 2024 schedule. Jeremy Talbot, who is the Port and Harbor Director in Valdez, stated that no specific reasons were given for the complete cancellation. He mentioned that NCL had already made at least one stop in Valdez this year on May 16th, which was the company's first visit to the community in Prince William Sound. Despite the cancellation, Talbot expressed the city's continuing interest in collaborating with NCL. He also noted that other cruise lines, such as Viking, Allen American, and Silversea, have already made stops in Valdez and are scheduled to continue those visits. The discontinuation of Norwegian Cruise Line's visit to Valdez is considered a setback for tour companies operating in the area. Norwegian refused to make any comment on this, and no real reason was given for the cancellation. I'm sorry. I mean, if they don't want to go to Valdez, that's fine, but you could at least say that instead of, again, you got people booked on cruises and you're going to yank something out from under them. I just, that whole attitude sucks, Norwegian. You're not the only ones. But, boy, it just seems like there's been a lot of it lately, my friends. All right. I'll be back with a couple more news stories after a quick break from one of our network sponsors. The next story this morning, folks, has to deal, no, that's still the Spirit, has to deal with Cruise Saudi. Saudi Arabian tourism industry is poised to receive a boost with the introduction of Arroyo Cruises, a new cruise line brand launched by Cruise Saudi, which is owned by the country's sovereign wealth fund. Many of you might have heard a little bit about the sovereign wealth fund with the recent negotiation and merger with the PGA Tour and the Live Tour. Despite being part of a Cruise Saudi, Arroyo Cruises will operate as an independent business unit within the Cruise Saudi portfolio, focused on offering experiences and services tailored to the Arabian preferences. One of Cruise Saudi's strategic goals is to reach an annual capacity of 1.3 million cruise tourists by the year 2035 and generate 50,000 direct and indirect jobs while increasing participation of Saudis and women in the workforce. Port Jeddah is Saudi Arabia's largest cargo port and the country's main cruise port. as well as the Middle East's second largest after Dubai's Port Jebel Ali. Congratulations to the Saudis and wish them well on getting a cruise line started. Of course, the first thing, they need a boat. And finally, in the news this morning, some of you saw this weekend as I put a short out on it. Celebrity Cruises has reached out to guests booked aboard select sailings of Celebrity Apex in late 2024 to inform them that the sailings are now canceled due to a change in dry dock availability. Alternate sailings are available for guests who wish to rebook from the 4 impacted cruises. A total of 4 Celebrity Apex sailings are now canceled for this Edge class vessel, owing to a change in the dry dock schedule that forced the cruise line to adjust the ship's deployment plans. Celebrity Cruises has reached out to the guests to inform them of the changes, which impacts cruises from October 23rd of 2024 through November 23rd of 2024. There is no explanation given for the shift in the dry dock schedule, but such changes are not uncommon, especially for schedules more than a year in advance. Yeah, that does give both the cruise lines and guests a chance to make necessary changes in their schedules. But still, somebody plans a vacation that far into the future. It's something that they're really looking forward to. Maybe that's the dates they have off from their work schedule. Maybe that's tied into some other travel, and all of a sudden you're going to pull the rug out from under them. The Apex came out in 2020? So by the end of 2023 or 2024, you knew you had to go to dry dock. So why didn't you just schedule it instead of scheduling cruises? The Apex holds 3,405 guests and 1,320 crew members. So, there was one other story this morning. And that is from AIDA. And it ate the picture again. Wow. It seems like I can't go a whole show without my computer eating something. So I do have it close by so I can load it up. All right. Recognizing the importance of accessibility, AIDA Cruise has taken significant steps to accommodate the special requirements of individuals with disabilities and health impairments. Through its commitment to inclusion and participation, AIDA strives to make the cruise travel accessible to all guests, regardless of their unique needs. In April 2022, AIDA established an expert council under the patronage of Christina Vogel, comprised of individuals with diverse disabilities, including restricted mobility, sight, and hearing impairments. This council collaborates closely with the cruise company to provide insights and advice from the perspective of various guests and interest groups. The continuous exchange between AIDA and the expert council is crucial in enhancing the ship's accessibility and ensuring a carefree travel experience for all guests. With the support of the expert council, AIDA has made significant progress in optimizing barrier-free travel both on land and on board. The company is focused on improving guiding systems, signage, and communication to enhance accessibility throughout the service areas, including restaurants and elevators, Notable achievements include the implementation of ring induction loops, enabling hearing impaired individuals to receive amplified acoustical ceilings directly to their hearing aids. AIDA also offers a specialty design catalog for barrier-free travel that can be read aloud using text-to-speech software. AIDA has expanded its offerings to provide barrier-free shore excursions at no extra charge, allowing guests to explore destinations comfortably. Low-floor and wheelchair-accessible buses are increasingly available in many ports, and excursions are now categorized based on difficulty levels to aid guests in selecting suitable options. The company is also focused on simplifying personalized booking process and developing digital solutions to enhance the overall travel experience for individuals with disabilities. In June 2023, AIDA organized its second expert council aboard AIDA Nova, featuring patron Christina Vogel and visually impaired TikTok star Nicholas Rizdis. The voyage served as a platform to gather further insights and discuss topics such as personalized booking processes, expanded excursion possibilities, and enhanced digital solutions for different types of restrictions on board. AIDA's continuous dedication to barrier-free travel has earned them recognition as a leader in the cruise market. Their ships feature almost all public areas, including bars and restaurants, elevators, outer decks, public toilets, and cabins, designed to be accessible and equipped with orientation signs and profile and braille. Barrier-free cabins offer wider doors, spacious closet with lit systems, height-adjustable wash basins, ground-level showers with seats, and additional amenities for guests with disabilities. And from a person that fits into that category, folks, congratulations to AIDA. I'd like to see everybody, every cruise line, doing the same thing. So good job, guys. AIDA Cruises. That's awesome. All right. Let's hop over and see who's in the house today. By the way, if any of you are interested in my Alaska cruise, it sails August Thursday from Anchorage. There's a link up in the top of the chat box where you can get all the information and the phone numbers to call and all that stuff. So Steve's with us. Good morning, Steve. Mike's here. Good morning, Mike. Ari Sarian. This is the cruise in December. No, this is the Alaska cruise is in August 30th. We hope to have more information on the December cruise today. I know they started the booking process over the weekend. Some of our folks got information back from Norwegian. They hope to have everybody that's booked done today. And we hope to have an answer back on trying to get extra cabins, extra balconies today as well. Nikki's with us. Hi, Nikki. Joanne's here. No cats here, she says. And Ari says, morning, all. Good morning. Ari, you're always welcome here. We do this 5 days a week. Do a little news, talk about cruising, see who's in the chat room. Dennis is with us. Dennis, I wanted to ask you a question because I went back yesterday. I know you were in the audience yesterday for Cruising Tips Pete with Janine, which was so much fun. But I know that you pointed out my poor pronunciation of one of the ships mentioned. And because I was busy when I saw what you had said. I went back after the show to try to go back in the chat room, and because it was on Pete's channel, I couldn't access the chat. So I ask you if this is the proper pronunciation of virtuosa. Is that even close? If not, you can drop in a comment for me. Thanks, Dennis. Emily's with us. Hi, Emily. Are you back from Norway now? You went over there and paddled around with Hot Air Tom, and we're kayaking around in Norway. At least that looked like you to me on one of those kayaks. Mr. Bucket List is with us. Hey, Justin. Good to see you, my friend. Emily says she found hot air. Very good. Mr. Bucket List. Yeah, hot air, Tom. I hope he wasn't in the first row. Yeah. Katie's with us. Good morning, Katie. Man, those oysters looked awful good. I'm afraid to say if I was anywhere near you, you'd be taking me back to there for those oysters and mussels. Ah, they look good. Popping in to say hi. Blaine's with us. Hi, Blaine. We have lots of friends cruising to Alaska tomorrow as well. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely the heart of the Alaska season. We did ours toward the end of the year because we got some really good rates. So if anybody is interested, you need to jump all over it because the rates are exceptional, both solo and a double occupancy. So, and I'm not sure anybody promoted solo cruising to Alaska this year except us, at least that I saw. Somebody else could have done it, and I'm not aware of it. Let's see. Blaine says hello to everybody. We're going to have a barbecue for my last night here in New York. I'm getting a pedicure. You're getting a pedicure before the barbecue. I thought maybe you were doing the pedicure at the barbecue. And I said, that wouldn't be very nice, Em. Does Viking ever have cruises that do not have a single supplement? Not that I have seen. My entrees toward them, and they've come from actually two people, one for solo supplements and the other for accessibility. I know my friend Christy has tried to work with them before, and they basically said they're not interested. And at this point, I have not seen a Viking crew without 100%. So, but you never can tell. That's definitely a changing market and definitely a market we're trying to stay on top of. Those of you that did see the show yesterday, there's a number of the European cruise lines. Unfortunately, they don't affect me because of my disabilities, but a number of the cruise lines over there are sailing without single supplements. So we're going to continue working with our river cruise community over here, trying to promote and get some things like that done here. And also, if anybody in the river cruise community in this country happens to be listening, I would love to come on one or multiple of the river ships that have an accessible cabin and promote it and show folks that what's available on our rivers now. A lot of the community, the accessible community, the disabled community, does not know about it. So, and I realize you only have one on each of the ships, but that's one we can fill up with somebody from the accessible community. So, and I'd love to go on any river ship. Doesn't matter where or when, and be happy to promote it for you, because I'll broadcast every day from wherever we are. NCL has been canceling too much lately and continues for the 2024, 24, and 25 like the Spirit. I know it's awful, Blaine. And I've been fussing at them. I've been fussing at Royal Caribbean too, because they've had their share of screw ups. Theirs wasn't so much canceling ahead as it was overbooking. They overbooked like 7 times in 6 months. That's ridiculous too. According to the TSA app, I can M&Ms. You can carry M&Ms in the carry-on. Yeah, as long as they're. Ooh, is that one of the ones that can, if it's not open? That's not like liquid though. Hey, yeah, I would think. I've never carried M&Ms, Emily, so I can't answer that directly. If you ever have a very long airport layover, look for half-day rates at nearby hotels. The other thing that I found is if the airlines have a lounge. I had something like a 12-hour delay at LAX. It wasn't in San Diego because they didn't have a lounge available. I think it might have been at LAX. I had a 12-hour delay once, and for $100 or $80, I think it was, I was able to use their executive lounge or whatever they called it, and it was, free food, free booze for the entire time, and TV, a nice desk, like workspace. So, yeah, I've done that before too. When you got a big layover, depends on your airline also. All right, says okay, nice. Kenneth's with us up in Pennsylvania. Hi, Kenneth. By the way, Ari, where are you from? So I'll know and remember that. Emily says my TSA app says I can bring an empty water bottle in my carry-on or in my luggage. Maybe I can briefly put water in it. I need to and make sure it is empty. Yeah, you can't have anything in it when you go through. Here we go. Virtuosa. Virtuosa. Try to roll the R. Yeah. Virtuosa. Okay. That was pretty close. Pedicure at the barbecue. Yeah. That's like a shootout at OK Corral. Emily's pedicure at the barbecue. LAX seems to have several restaurants. There's hundreds of restaurants at LAX. Unfortunately, Emily, and I'll tell you up front, they're expensive. Airport restaurants are ridiculously expensive. Ari's in Arizona. Okay, we've got Melissa, who visits us quite often, is from Arizona also. Hope you can watch the stream on the flight. Yeah, that would be nice. All right, guys. Well, I'm sorry that Nate didn't make it today from up in Alaska. Of course, he and I are on just such totally different schedules. But hopefully one day this week we'll be able to hook that up and bring Nate in to talk a little bit more about what's left to be booked on the Alaska cruise. And hopefully, guys, some of you will decide to join us. It's Labor Day weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I mean, Alaska is such an awesome place to cruise. Wonderful stuff to see and do. Anyway, look into it. I know I'm looking forward to it. All right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. Of course, I'll be back same time tomorrow. at 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time for Tuesday Travel and Cruise Industry News. Maybe Nate will be here tomorrow. Who knows? All right, guys. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Think about cruising. Hopefully one day soon, we'll all get together on the high seas. Have a fabulous day, everybody. See you tomorrow.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. Hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.